Hey fandom, it's me, Aaron.
Drop Force Mike.
And it's another comic show, and last week was insane with Charlie Adlard. He was the best, most perfect gentleman.
Yeah, he was a sweetheart.
We had hundreds of people, literally. We had so much free press for it.
Yeah.
And he was drawing not only head sketches in the hardcovers with our brilliant Get Hard, Get Head campaign and marketing scheme, but he was drawing head sketches for almost everyone. And it made the line move a little slowly, and we had to cap the line as if it was actually a con. I mean, we had a longer line than I see for most people at most cons.
Yeah.
I mean, it went out the door and around, and it was insane. And then we had him, at the con that the con was gracious enough to give him to us the day before for Florida SuperCon, and it was just fun hanging out with him, eating with him, moderating his panels, and he's just such a joy to be around, honestly. And did not let success go to his head in the slightest.
Nope.
I don't think I'd be like that at all. I think I'd be like super dickery, But anyway, Flashpoint number 3. Was, I'm liking Flashpoint better than Fear Itself, but every Flashpoint book, even the tie-ins, I'm liking so many of them.
Oh my God.
And Flashpoint 3 delivers on everything. We have the Barry cliffhanger from last issue. That obviously delivers on that. And then there's Bat Dad, Barry, and Cyborg, and they're all going after Project Superman. And Project Superman is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Basically he's been sitting in a room just doing nothing. And he is just the biggest wuss ever. I mean, he's their secret weapon, not really, but Flashpoint is just ridiculous in how bad everything is for every single hero, and I just love that. I just love that. And we got a great batch of tie-ins. The Dark Knight one, the Batman one, it delivered with the payoff of exactly what I was saying of a relative of the Waynes with Joker, and I'm not going to spoil it at all, but it delivered. I mean, it was great.
It's a cool thing.
And with Abin Sur, it picks up from that panel in Hal Jordan and moves on from there, not in the way that any of us expected.
No.
Which, that's crazy awesome.
Yeah.
And then just to have the weird dynamic, like the Bizarro World Flashpoint thing of, you have Sinestro, the traditional renegade of the Green Lanterns, actually sent on a mission from the Guardians to take down Abin Sur, who is, the traditional, golden boy hero, martyr, whatever, of the whole, core. The Guardians send Sinestro to take out Abin. That's just ridiculous to me. And I love it. World of Flashpoint, again, it's enriching the world. It's showing us what other teen heroes are doing. What's this? What's that? Blah blah blah. Why is she so important to the whole Flashpoint? Is she going to be integral to putting it back together again? That's what they're hinting at.
Yeah.
And Secret 7.
Love this book.
I know a lot of people expressed to me that they didn't get Secret 7-1, and you don't get Insanity. I mean, I love Shade the Changing Man. I've always loved Shade the Changing Man. I've loved all that 90s Vertigo stuff. When people are like, oh, comics sucked in the 90s, like, nah, Vertigo. Vertigo was my safe place.
Yep.
And this has all kinds of elements from that. It has Black Orchid. It's great. And thematically, at least, this is going to lead into Justice League Dark.
Yeah.
This is the same writer and many of the same characters with the same feel. So I'm getting super excited for Justice League Dark.
Oh my God.
Secret 7, if you're kind of on the fence with number 1, give issue 2 a chance. I think these characters might have some big role too, with all the mysticism and putting things back together. And obviously they have a big role in, what's coming in the relaunch. But,
absolutely.
With Fear Itself, number 4, this is the issue where it all came together for me. Mike said he would have liked this to be issue 1.
Yes.
And perhaps the first few issues be the Road 2.
Yes.
I think this could be issue 1, and then they could have flashed back to issue 1 as issue 2, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, this is what tells you why you should care, what's it all about, what's the Serpent's background, what's his plot, what's his purpose, what's his specific relationship to Odin, what is going on, we know what's going on, everyone's afraid, and there's all these unnatural disasters, and there's these worthy hammer welders, but what is the Serpent's goal?
I know what my Serpent's goal is.
Right. But with this, you got the aftermath from the whole Bucky thing, very simply and succinctly, and then you have Cap doing his turning point, you know, and obviously everyone knows Captain America is going to be putting the costume back on. He's holding on the cover, and this to me is I actually get a feel of how these guys could win. What's it going to be like? I think my theory is perhaps Thor and Loki being so distrustful of each other for their entire history, if they find faith and trust in each other, they will be able to overcome the Serpent because, fear and faith and blah, blah, blah. And also Steve Rogers, if he can rally and give faith and hope, optimism, and trust in each other for all the heroes and the general population, maybe that can beat the the serpent. The same way that FDR and his Fear Itself speech helped America in the home front not be afraid of Nazis and help us, blah blah blah. So that's my theory. This is actually quite cool, the Uncanny X-Force Fear Itself, because you don't have to read Fear Itself to enjoy this at all. Yeah. And Rob Williams is nothing but super ambitious. Oh, yeah. And he's doing tons of books for Marvel now, and he knows the bar has been set so high with Rick Remender. And this is the first Uncanny X-Force not written by Rick Remender. Yeah. So he came out of the gate just gunning. Yeah. And you have the thing where there's fear everywhere, everyone feels more fear, and we have the thing with the mutant killers, whatever. Right. They are so afraid of mutants and their powers they want to kill them, and then they suddenly have this epiphany because of the serpent and the fear that shouldn't we kill everyone with superpowers? Yeah. Aren't they all a threat to humanity? Yep. I mean, come on. And then so you have X-Force, whose mission is to kill the killers before they can kill, and it's a perfect tie-in, and it stands alone, and it has great art too. So great art. I have nothing but good things to say about Fear Itself on X-Force. You notice I haven't put a lot of the tie-ins into my top picks. It's true. Moon Knight, this is, I think, Bendis' best book ever, personally, in my opinion. It's up there. Bendis, everyone will agree, Bendis' greatest strength is dialogue. Mm-hmm. And that becomes a weakness to some people, and it absolutely becomes a criticism when there's a team book with so many characters. Book, yeah. And you have like 10 of the most powerful characters, and all they're doing is talking about beer and eggs and whatever, sitting around the mansion. And I like that, but I hear that criticism all the time from fans. And this is, you have all that witty dialogue, you have the multiple characters, but since Moon Knight is freaking insane, they're all him. That's the spoiler, that's what's been in all the reviews already, that Moon Knight, when he's talking to Cap and Wolverine and Spider-Man, it's actually all him. Yes. And then when they decide who out of all of them is going to fight, since they can't all fight because they're all him, he puts on that costume over his Moon Knight costume. Yeah. And now we have the question, is he going to be the villains too? And I just think Bendis is just killing it on this. I think even if you perhaps dropped Bendis on Avengers or New Avengers, I think you might really, really, really like his Moon Knight. If you liked his Daredevil, you'd love it. But it's definitely has its own flavor, and to me, the best take on Moon Knight ever. Mm-hmm. And whatever, I really like it. And this is the book of the week, Lock and Key Volume 4. Lock and Key is
best book ever.
It's nominated for best book ever, best writer, best penciler, best continuing series, and I hope it wins.
It better win.
And this is Volume 4, so. I came to the party late. I read his Cape one shot and loved it, Joe Hill's Cape. And then, I had so many customers like, you would like this, you would like this, you would like this, that, I kind of felt like Cartman when everyone told him he would like Family Guy. Right. And, then I sat down and I read Volume 1, and I loved it. Drove back to the store. Yep. Turned off the alarm, got back in, and got Volume 2, and then got Volume 3. Yep. And then I got the single issues of Volume 4, and then I proceeded to lose issue 2, so he could not read it. So he hasn't read this yet. But
give me that.
For whatever reason, if you've read the first 3, you need this 4, and there's different subplot slow burn things in the first 3 volumes that come to a huge crescendo in Volume 4. And there's only 2 more volumes left in the whole story, and this is just so good, so much like magic and whimsy, and there's even like the first issue of this is a homage to Calvin and Hobbes, but just for the first issue, and it still has the dark, gory, death and dismemberment, but that with childhood magic and whimsy just together, that juxtaposition just makes it like such a truly unique and brilliant book. And the art, I don't mention art so much, but he has evolved and can do different things with it and just make certain things work so well. And Lock and Key, to me, I don't think anyone that likes good comics, anyone that's ever liked any Vertigo comic, whether it be Why Last Man or Fables or Unwritten or anything, anyone who has liked any of it would love Lock and Key. I can't say enough good things about it. It's my pick of the week. So thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
I'm reading this.
No, you're working.